Okay, so this is Manycam. When you have it installed, you should have the premium version, as I have. When you first load it up, there'll just be one or maybe two empty presets. Now we're going to create a series of presets which you're going to use throughout the classes with the students. We have two empty presets. Let's click on this one. I think the first preset we can create is a simple camera so that the student can see you, and you can use it for greeting the student into the class and saying goodbye at the end. So to do that, we're going to click on this black space, go to camera. You need to select the camera that you're going to use, the webcam. Most probably it's going to be the one that comes with your laptop, that's fixed into your laptop monitor just above the screen. But I would recommend getting a USB external camera because the quality is much better. So the one I have is this one here, HD Pro Webcam C920, and you can see me, the student can see the teacher. Hello! So you can use this just to start lessons off, and then when you go over to the material, you're going to need another preset for that. So we'll click on this preset, and this is the one which we're going to use for showing students the books. Very simple. We right click, we go to desktop, we go to we don't go to anything at the moment because there's no Google Chrome loaded up. So let's minimize Manycam. Let's load up Google Chrome. Now in Google Chrome, you need to go to the Oxford Premium website. I have it as a bookmark here. I suggest you do the same. Click here, click login. Username and password, I already have it stored. Click login. And now we've got a book. So I'm just going to select any book at random. Digital content, let's look at the student book for this. And here we are. Let's go back to Manycam. Now we right click on this preset, we go to desktop, we go down to app window, we go to OLB web viewer. Okay, Manycam is projecting the website. From here it can be broadcasted through to Zoom. Okay, so before we go any further, we should give these presets some actual names so we don't get one confused with the other. I think I will call this one books. You can call them whatever you like, whatever works for you. And preset, let's call this one camera because it's a basic camera. Okay, job done. Now obviously with the books, when you actually get around to teaching the exercises, I would strongly recommend magnifying here from Google Chrome, maybe 2 or 3 clicks, so that way the student can actually read the questions and understand what's going on. If we leave it like this, I think for many students that's going to be too small for them. So there we go. So this is 2 very basic presets. The third one I think we can have as a camera and to show the book like this. So presets, we click plus to give us more presets. We have 24 in total, by the way, so don't worry about running out. We have loads. Click plus. Let's give this a name. I'm going to call it books. Books and camera. We're going to do exactly the same as we did for this one. So we've got camera, we have books. This one is going to be a combination of the two. So it's going to consist of 2 layers, this preset. Okay, we go to desktop, we go to OLB web viewer, whatever it's called. There we go, just the same as this one. At the moment it's a total duplicate, but with books and camera we're going to right click, we're going to add a new layer, bring the layer, I don't know, I'll put it down here, and then this layer will show the camera. Right click, go to camera, select your camera. Now the student can see you and read the topic. So let's minimize that. I think personally we should have it down like that. And we should magnify it on Manycam. This is the camera that we're magnifying, the camera layer, not the books layer, the camera one. I say magnify it by a good 30%, 40%, something like that. Okay, and that is the books and camera layer. Okay, so next we're going to create a language translator using Google Chrome. We go to presets, we go to plus, click on the picture, click create. Now we're going to this new preset. There we go. And we right click to show Google Chrome once again, desktop, app window. It's always going to be desktop, app window for most things that aren't a camera. Okay. OLB web viewer. Okay, now what's going to make this one different is if we go back to Google Chrome, I'm going to minimize Manycam, create a new tab, go to Google Translate. Here we are. Now I would suggest saving Google Translate as a bookmark as well. Okay, I'll explain why later. But for now, if we go back to Manycam, it's showing Google Chrome. Now we're going to use magnification to draw more emphasis on the translator part of the page, because that's the whole point of this preset. So we click plus. I think we should drag this so it's nice and big. Then once it's magnified, we can drag it over like that. Let's minimize it slightly. Perfect. Now you've got a translator. You can introduce new vocabulary or new things by typing the word or the sentence in the student's mother tongue and then translating it into the language they want to learn for situations when you get stuck. I'm going to call this one Translator. Next preset is going to be the image search. Again, it's going to be another Google Chrome based preset, so we click plus. I'm going to type in image search, that's going to be the name. Click create. Click on the preset. We go to right click, desktop, app window, Google Translate. Whatever it said, that basically loads up Google. Let's go back to Google, open a new tab. Again, this should be another tab which you should save as a bookmark for easy access. Type in Google Images, enter. Images Google. Now we've got Google Image Search. Okay, so all these tabs that you can see, you know, these, this one, it's important to create a bookmark folder like these ones you can see towards the top of mine, so that when you prepare for a class a few minutes before the class begins, all you need to do is go to the folder, right click it, and then you can open all of the pages within that folder. So with a couple of clicks you can load up all the web pages that you will need. So just as a tip there. Now getting back to Manycam, I'm going to shape and size this one based on the image search results. So say a student doesn't know what a ping pong court is. So I can show them a picture, say this is a ping pong court where people like to play ping pong. Go back to Manycam. So we're interested in this one picture on the right. So I'm going to use magnifying glass, go in, bring this over. I think that in most cases that should be fine. Maybe something like that. Okay, let's go back to Google Images, let's try something else. Let's say if Let's say if the student doesn't know car in English or la coche in Spanish. Okay, so we find pictures of cars. See this image of this car. Go back to Manycam. There we go. I think that works. So you can use image search. I use it for vocabulary building. It works really, really well. Okay, now this next preset I'm going to create, it doesn't have anything to do with Google. Actually, this is a preset to play video files that you have stored on your laptop. And I like to play them back. I've got these really good videos for speaking exercises. So what I'm going to do is click plus to add a new preset. I'm going to put video, click over here, click create. Okay, let's double click. Obviously it's black because it's empty. Now what we can do is I can load up my collection of videos. They will appear in this part where I'm moving the mouse, and then all you need to do is click to select each one and click the play button to play them. So let's load them up first. Okay, right click. Now this time we go to media files. Okay, now you're going to search your computer for the media files. I already know where mine are because I have a shortcut right here. I'm going to go to downloaded videos, British Council, teen speaking exercises. Okay, and I can load. I wonder if I can load all of these. Let's see. So I've selected all of the videos in this folder. Let's click open. Right. Now Manycam has already populated this bottom bar with all the videos I have of the speaking exercises. Let's see. So here you got play and pause, you got volume adjustment, and this, let me pause that. This bar you can just skip to different regions of the video, like here.
Really? I didn't know you had another brother.
Okay, so this is the video template, not to be confused with the next one. Okay, so the next preset we're going to create is one for playing YouTube videos. I got the idea of it in a conversation class. One of my students liked to talk about movies that he'd seen, so what I would do is find the trailer to that movie on YouTube, play it so both me and the student watch it together, and then he can tell me about who the characters are, you know, explain the different scenes, etc. Really got him talking, and it's quite a useful tool. So we're going to click plus here to create yet another preset. I'm going to call this one YouTube. Click create. Let's double click on the new preset. It's all black, that's totally fine. We're going to go back to using Google Chrome, as YouTube is a website. So we go to desktop, go to app window, we go to Google Chrome. Okay, now we're going to go to Google Chrome, open a new tab. I'm going to, well, I've already got YouTube saved as a bookmark here, so I'm just going to go to that. Here we go, let's see. Here we go, so here's a movie trailer right here, Greyhound.
Will bring hell.
Right, okay. So I'm going to go back to Manycam and I'm going to create a preset which just magnifies into the YouTube video, like this. Go to zoom, magnify, magnify, magnify. We go along, something like that. Maybe a bit more. Oh. Yep, perfect. Sits in there snugly like that. Looks really professional. So as you do free conversation practice and they talk about things, you have a choice. You can search images up here. Search images. Obviously I still need to go to Google to change each of these tabs every time I search for a preset that's deriving its content from Google, in which case I'll go to image search. So for example, 1 minute they could be talking about cars, the next minute they want to talk about a new movie that they want to see, and then you've got YouTube for that. I should say, very important about these presets which are based around Google, which in this case is all of the ones we created with the exception of the camera one here and the video one down here. Every time you change one preset to another, you have to remember to go back to Google and click on the relevant tab. This is why it's important to put all the tabs you're going to use, all the corresponding tabs to a preset, into a single bookmark folder. That way when you open the folder, you instantly open all of the tabs. You don't have to keep searching for each one by one, because that will just take too long. So for books, that basically means the web browser, which is this. For books and camera, basically the same, because the preset is basically the same. You just include a little camera to show yourself. Translator, go to translator. Image search, we go to image search. And YouTube, we go to YouTube. One thing I'll say very importantly about the YouTube one, the audio is a bit tricky on this one, okay? You need to go to audio, you need to activate the system sound. If you don't see that there, then you need to click the blue button saying add audio device, system sound. With this volume turned up, so here or something, I usually turn it down here. When you play the video, the student can hear it.
Down from on high.
If this is off, or you delete it, then the student isn't going to hear anything. Okay, now this next preset is a bit of a special one. It's just for the English teachers. If we look at Oxford Premium, let me go back, we can see there are 6 English file books. They actually made 7 books, but one of them is missing. They never uploaded it. The one that's missing is the pre-intermediate, and I happen to have the pre-intermediate Oxford, the New English file, Oxford pre-intermediate iTool. I have it so you can run it independently from your computer. It was attached in the downloads. It's the reason why that download folder was so huge. It was like nearly 2 gigabytes. Most of that 2 gigabytes is just the Oxford pre-intermediate iTool. So we go to Manycam, we click plus, we click in the thing here, which we use for every new preset. Let's call this one pre-intermediate. Click on the thing here, click save. Now we've got a new empty preset for the pre-intermediate. So I'm going to go to Start, Programs, I'm going to go to Oxford University Press, go to English file 3rd edition pre-intermediate, load up English file 3rd edition pre-intermediate. Okay, so this is the pre-intermediate. This should have been on their website, but it's not on their website. I have no idea why. Don't know, don't really care, because now we have it here. So we just go back to Manycam and we right click, go to desktop, go to app window, go to English file 3rd edition, and there you go. You have got the pre-intermediate. It works very similar to the online Oxford Premium books. You've got the student books up here, load one at random. There we go. It's magnifying glass to go in. It's basically the same as the website. Get rid of that. Perfect. Okay, the next preset is going to be dedicated to Microsoft MS Paint. That's because we will use it as a whiteboard. It's a nice traditional whiteboard that you have in the classroom. I think MS Paint is basic, but it's simple and it does the job. So without further ado, let's go to presets, click plus, give it a name. I'm going to call it Paint. Click create, double click paint. There we have it. Let's get rid of this for now. Let's exit, thank you very much. Let's minimize Chrome, we won't be needing that for this preset. And let's go to Start, find wherever Microsoft Paint is, assuming you have a Windows laptop. I don't know what to suggest for users of Mac. If you can on the internet find any kind of software which you can crudely use as some kind of whiteboard, but for the Windows guys we're going to go ahead with Paint. Let's open that. Here, Microsoft Paint. Now it's pretty good because you can draw and you can also type. Okay, so let's type something. Let's put subject. Okay, nice and very simple. Let's go to 36 there, and if we want to draw something, I'm going to buy a USB, a small cheap little trackpad, and it's so that I can draw with that instead of the mouse, but for now I'm going to use the mouse. I'm going to select which brush I want. I think I'm going to go with a marker. Size, let's do that. And there you go, marker pen. Okay, we go back to Manycam. Right click, go to desktop, we go to app window, we go to Microsoft Paint. Boom, we now have a whiteboard which we can type, which we can draw. We can also, for example, go to red like that. And if you want to have a clean whiteboard, it's very simple. You just press Ctrl A and press the delete key. Delete. Perfect. Last but not least is the waiting screen. Okay, now this is the screen that you're going to use between lessons. Let me show you. So presets, we click plus, we click this icon here, click create. Where is it? We go down, we give it a name. I'm going to call it wait screen. So we go to media files, and what we're going to do is upload the wait screens that I've created for you. If I can find it. Here they are, wait screens. Now at the time of making this video, I had created screens for English, Spanish and Catalan, and one which is no language. For the French and German teachers, don't worry, by the time you get this I will have also created the French waiting screen and the German one as well. So I'm going to open these. Here we go. Avance, your class will start soon. Okay, so let's say you show up a couple of minutes early for the class, just to show that you are in. You can just double click on whichever one you think is appropriate. So when the student logs in, this is the first thing they see, so they know that someone is on the other side, and they can relax and prepare for the lesson. And when you're ready to speak to them, you just go up to your camera screen and your lesson can begin this way. Okay, so that's it for my little Manycam tutorial. I hope it's enough to get you started. These are the presets which always work for me, but the best one which works for you is one which you will slowly start to modify with your own personal workflow. If you're a teacher that's been watching all this and you have no intention of using YouTube or videos or whatever, don't worry about it. These are just more my suggestions. It's not the best guide, it's just a guide. As you get more familiar with Manycam, eventually you'll start making your own adaptations to the presets that I've made. Maybe for instance you could just, if you wanted a preset where you could have the camera and the whiteboard, then you can do that. You click right click, add new layer. Then we go to, if I sit over here, like that, and then I can bring this over here. It can get quite creative, this whole thing. You can go to desktop, you can go to app window, and you can draw away, and the student can see both you and the board. You can point at the board. Where am I? Point at the board. Look at this, isn't this good? To make it look really fancy, I would strongly recommend having 2 computer monitors, your laptop screen and a second screen. It saves you having to keep flicking between, you know, Paint and Manycam, or Google Chrome and Manycam, or, you know, Oxford Premium and Manycam, etc. It saves all this back and forth palaver. It can be a bit confusing for you and also for the student. They're already in a place where they have to learn. We want to minimize the confusion as much as possible. A good way to speed up the workflow on Manycam is to use keyboard shortcuts on your computer, okay? On your computer keyboard, okay? Any preset, the ones that is at the top of your list, in our case it's camera. To access it quickly, you just press Control and 1. To access the one beneath that one, Control and 2. The one beneath that one, Control and 3. The one beneath that one, Control and 4. The one beneath, okay? So I can just, without even touching my mouse, Control 2, Control 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, 9. And well, we've got 10, okay? 10 presets here. There are 24 in total. There are not enough keys across the top of your keyboard to give you shortcuts to all of the 24. I think you only have enough shortcuts for the first 10 of your presets, okay? So make sure that you have these in an order that you like, and then you can just quickly transition from different parts like that. I think it's pretty cool. I'd just like to say, by the way, that obviously everything I know is as an English teacher. All of the resources are for our English teaching. I don't know if there's a French or a Spanish version of the Oxford online books. If you don't have, and if no such thing exists, then the only thing I could recommend is going through the PDFs of the books. If you have PDF files of the books, then you can broadcast them with Manycam, okay? It's very simple. In fact, I can show you right now. This is why I included the Sumatra PDF editor, okay? It's for people, any of the teachers that don't have an online resource of the books. So I'm going to very quickly create. This would be a substitute for Oxford Premium online if you don't have, or you can't use Oxford Premium online. If I put PDF books, this PDF book is going to broadcast the program Sumatra. Okay. So we go to desktop, app window, Sumatra. Here we are. So I've got some English file books. These are just PDFs, but just imagine if you're a Spanish teacher, just imagine these are PDFs for Spanish books, and likewise for German and French. There, this is the closest thing we can use as a substitute. You know, go for each book like that, change the page, go through it again, 5A, go through the exercises. With this, now, if your books have video and audio tracks, I think it's better to have a media file player, for example Windows Media Player or iTunes, or just have some program which you use for just playing music, and set up playlists for the audio for all of your books, okay? And you can play them back through Manycam. You don't need, because it's audio, it's not visual, you don't use presets at all. Over on the audio you have system sound, and I believe in theory with system sound it will just broadcast any sounds which are coming from your computer. So that means if you have a playlist on iTunes or a playlist on, or whatever. There's so many free media programs out there just for handling audio, but let's just say iTunes as a for instance. Actually, I'm going to see if I have iTunes on this computer. Okay, I don't have iTunes, but I have another media player here, so I'm just going to use that. So let's just assume that you have all of your audios here in this list. This is 5K media player, and you should be able to hear it.
English File Intermediate Plus by Christina Latham-Koenig, Clive Oxenden and...
Okay, so just to review, if you are not using the Oxford Premium online stuff, and all you have are PDFs and audios, that's absolutely fine, okay? Because you can use Sumatra for the PDFs, okay? With Manycam is with Sumatra. The program, by the way, is just here. So you've got Sumatra for the PDFs, and you've got any generic media player, for example iTunes or this one. You've got this to play the audio files should the exercise need audio. You can also use the media player to play video files if the book came with video files. So I hope in the meantime you adapt the presets and everything to what suits you. Thanks for watching.